Today, we are joined by Florian also known as Koko. Florian is a head coach at Gaming Campus, which is based in Lyon, France. Florian has been working with Team Vitality, which is a prominent esports outfit based in France. On top of this, he has assisted the growing Fortnite training community of EliteIQ. He also holds a master's degree in neurosciences and one in neuropsychology. Koko has an interesting story to tell us. He has provided public retrospective content over the course of his career in esports, which hasn't always been a perfect and fun adventure. Today, we have the pleasure of exploring some of those ups and downs and seeing what the experience in the industry is like and the different ways you can navigate them. Thank you for joining us today, Koko.
It's my turn.
It is your turn.
Such an introduction. Wow. Hi. Nice to be there. Thank you for all this.
Wow. That's okay.
I swear nobody never said something like that about me.
Well, funny enough, that's just the research on you online, Koko. So if you're ever feeling bad, all you need to do is check, pretend you're not yourself and look yourself up, and that's what comes up. It's pretty impressive.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, anyone who holds a master's in neuroscience and neuropsychology is pretty impressive to me. So,
oh really?
That's what. Yeah, I had to get you on the show just because of that.
Okay. Yeah, I just can't imagine that because it was not like a purpose for me to be impressive. I was like doing my things, so it's kind of weird for me to imagine that. And yeah, another problem for people like me, it's almost all my friends are also master degrees graduated, so it's like normal for me. And yeah, weird things. So yeah, but thank you for this interview.
No, it's okay. I was going to say you're probably actually having two master's degree. I mean, I don't know about Luke. I mean, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance, but you might be the most qualified person we've ever had on the show from a higher education. So you're the smartest person in the room right now.
Oh, no, not really. But maybe the more graduated, probably, but maybe not the smartest.
So, Koko, we're going to jump into a little bit more about what you do from a coaching perspective. Before we do that, we want to hear a little bit more about, I guess, some of your first memories of esports and how this all came about. What is your first memory in gaming?
Gaming or esport?
Let's start with gaming.
Gaming. Okay, probably Pokemon. I think the first version on Game Boy, maybe, and the second thing, just near to this one, is Zelda: Ocarina of Time on N64.
Nintendo 64.
So yeah. Yeah, so I think my age allow me to try the first generation, not really the first generation of console, but yeah, kind of the first one. And I started on simple things like Pokemon and Zelda and Mario also. So yeah.
Awesome. Is that Pokemon Red?
Oh no, I was on Yellow, I think.
Yeah. That's the way Pikachu follows you around. I remember being very upset that my parents wouldn't get me that one, and they got me Red.
Yeah, I had the same. I didn't get the Yellow, and I was like always looking for Pikachu everywhere.
Yeah, and you could. I don't want to digress too much, but I know where he is, but I can never find him. But yeah. So, esports. How did that come about? At what age did you kind of start discovering esports?
It was definitely during my studies. So I was in my second years of my first master degree. So I was probably something like 22 years old, something like that. So yeah, I started on Dofus, which is not a very famous European game. It's very French one, and it's like a MMORPG. like World of Warcraft, but in smaller thing. I think I started on that, and after when I finished my studies, I switched on Fortnite.
Okay. And so you would have, I mean, Fortnite came out. What year did Fortnite came out? It came out
17,
2017. That's right. So
2017.
when did you kind of get into Fortnite and start competing? If so, how far did you kind of get before you started transitioning out of into coaching?
In fact, I started esports by commentaries. So I was not at all coaching, not at all mental coaching. Also, I was definitely talking about esports, commentating things. And when I finished with that, I focused myself on finishing my studies, and I tried to do a neuropsychologist job. And when I saw really what it was, I found I was not in my place. It was not the way I was seeing myself in 10 years. And yeah, neither in 1 year, in fact. But yeah, it was not my thing. I love helping people, understanding things, doing all the things I'm supposed to do in neuropsychologist job, but not the way I was supposed to do in hospital. So I tried to twist all in my career and go back on esports, but with mental preparation. And yeah, I started on League of Legends. Yeah, I started on League of Legends, and quite fast, someone asked me, a Fortnite player asked me to coach him on mental preparation, and I was interested by Fortnite. So because I love analyzes things, I starting slowly to give him some advice, really small advice, but it was like, oh yeah, that's so smart. I wasn't realizing it was so important. So thank you. Okay, I was like, okay, you're welcome. and step by step, I started to thought that maybe I can help all the players on Fortnite, and I did. And yeah, baby step. I started to coach more and more person, coaching higher level players, and yeah, things happen. So I started coaching just. I will not say lucky move, but yeah, it was not at all planned for me to coach on Fortnite.
Okay, excellent. And so you kind of got this experience, you fell into accidentally helping some people with some coaching. When did you first realize that this was something you could do as a career? I guess I mean, you realized that you're working, I'm guessing you were working in a hospital or a practice.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Yeah, and you realize, okay, this isn't really for me right now. Maybe when I'm older. When did you start to realize that coaching was a viable option? That this is a real thing that I can actually do? And how did you? What late?
Yeah, quite late, I think, because I was definitely thinking about going in mental things about psychology in esports, not at all about being a coach, a professional coach. So my mind was about, yeah, I like coaching on Fortnite, but it was like more a hobby, and mental preparation was more my main goal. And step by step, I realized that I will say esports, but probably more French esport was not ready for mental preparation. I'm 2 years ago from that, and even now, mental preparation is not quite easy to being stable as a job. So I think I did the good choice by moving on coaching on Fortnite, and I started to realize I can do something interesting. Probably when gaming campus came, I think. because it was unstable situation, and gaming campus gave me time. And time is so precious when you are starting quite a new job, because coach esport coach doesn't exist really. So I'm day after day inventing the job, and so I need time, and gaming campus gave me this time.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And what do your parents or guardians think of your coaching aspirations?
um Weird question, because I started at 25 years old, so my parents didn't have any word to say about that. I just said I'm switching. I'm trying something, and my parents obviously was kind of scared, because my son did some studies, have a great job, and you want to leave that. I was, yeah, I'm sad doing that, so I want to help people. I want to challenge myself. I want to do something new. Maybe not that, but I want to change. And yeah, they were kind of helpful about that. They understood quite quickly. Of course, they were scared me to fail and to have nothing behind. And when I became a gaming campus coach, they felt more safe and more confidence in my way, in the way I choose. I don't know if it's clear what I'm saying, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really clear. And I want to talk to you about the gaming campus experience. But before that, I think regarding to what you said about parents being scared, I think we talk at the Valo Esport, we've talked with some parents, and a few of them have said things like, "Oh, my kid is wasting all his time like just playing Fortnite," and they are really scared of like seeing their kids. Mostly if they're not competing, like most of the kids we've seen competing, the parents were understanding that there were some kind of goal for the game. But um, I want to get into a little bit, maybe for the parents that are listening that don't know Fortnite that much. If you could explain us a little bit how Fortnite looked like as an esport, in the esport context.
Yeah, totally. Do you want me to explain Fortnite first?
Yeah, if you could do it like maybe like Fortnite as a general, and then how it's applied in an esport context.
Yeah, so basically Fortnite is a game where 100 people are dropped in a map, and basically the job is to finish the last one. So you need to farm, have some build, have some weapon, and kill, or just not being killed by other people. And yeah, they are the basics of Fortnite. At higher level, you need to play with RNG. So you need to play with kind of gambling things, and the game have a new face, because you are not playing just being the better, but you are playing against other people and against the game. You need to understand how the game is putting yourself and fight against that, and always thinking the best way to improve your situation, and the best way to not being oppressed on like put in a corner by the game and other players. So it's a very strategic game, more than people can accept it. But yeah, definitely a very strategic game, very mechanical game. Also, one of the more mechanical game I know. So much input, so it's yeah, mechanical game, so needs a lot of technical skills, but also good way to think, a lot of cognitive skills. And yeah, I think to finish, I will say that Fortnite is the most complex game I know, because there is so much different skills you need to have to be the best, that it takes a lot of time and a lot of work to achieve that.
That sounds good. I didn't know Fortnite in the context, but what you're saying, it sounds like there is a lot of like active problem solving
Yeah,
every time, like just to
always.
understand the situation and many variables that you need to juggle with.
Totally,
That's really
it's
interesting.
100% adaptation. Not really 100%, but yeah, you have some plan, but basically things never happen like the plan. So you need to be able to adapt yourself to the situation and being the more efficient by adapting yourself. So yeah.
Cool. And just before we jump in the gaming campus experience, one thing that I really liked in the retrospective that you did online around your career is that you're saying that you don't need to ask yourself too many questions. You just need to act.
Yeah.
And I really like that quote because I also like to be like this, like in my life in general. And I wanted to know if you could share us a few anecdotes in your esport journey where actually you have applied this
Yes.
motto and you want to share like what was a positive outcome you got out of it.
Yeah, totally. Do you want a perfect transition? Gaming campus. Yeah,
Perfect.
it was my first moment because they asked me to coach people, to coach, to make them professional, and doing that during 2 years. So I was like, okay, I know Fortnite, but am I good enough to coach someone for 2 years? Because it's very long, and you need to imagine I need to have something to say during 2 years, because I was scared, being like, okay, I told you all I know, and yeah, I spent 6 months, and now I need to yeah, to improvise. So I was a lot of yeah, I was scared. Basically, I was very scared, not about my skills, but about how to share them and how to organize them. And I think some lot of coach are thinking they are good coach because they know things, but knowing things is enough, isn't enough to being a coach. You need to be able to adapt your way to share information, depending of the person you have in front of you, but also being able to organize quite clearly things in your mind. And it's not that easy, to be honest. I basically do that automatically in my mind, but not for 2 years. It's way too long. So I was forced to put that on paper and try to really think what I was planning to do. And yeah, I stopped when I started to write things. I stopped overthinking, and I was okay. I can do something. I don't really know how and how things will turn, but I think I can do. So just do it. And I did it, and I did it great because my players are improving a lot. Are very grateful about me, and yeah, school is also very happy of my job. So everything is great. And yeah, it was the first time I did that, and I think the second one was my first top European player. My first English coaching. Hi Bella, if you are there. Bella is an old player. He placed himself 17 in World Cup. He's also playing with a lot of big players. Actually, in 70, I think a top 70 player in Europe in all time. So a very good player, very smart. I was watching him playing years ago. I was teaching to my players how to play like him, and now I'm coaching him. And it was my first time in English, so I was a bit stressed, but I was quite sure about my skills and what I can learn to a player. And I stopped thinking, and I just drop in, and it was great. So I'm happy to do that. And
Yes.
maybe the last one was CSGO coaching. I started to coach on CSGO and I never played CSGO. So it was like a challenge, a huge challenge for me to being with players. And it was not like casual players. It was a previous twice France champion. I don't know if it's the right word for that, or right word for that, but yeah, it was definitely a very good player, and the team was good, really. And so basic things I know was not enough to improve the team. So it was very hard for me to going over that and overthink, always working very hard and still thinking I can learn them something. And I was very scared to be useless in the team. And I thought I was, but after a small talk, like the first week, they came back with so much compliments that I was, yeah, soulagé. I don't have the word.
Um, I don't have it on my hand, but he was feeling good about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
you'd be
feeling
feeling
way
good.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was feeling way better and helpful
And
because yeah,
reassured as well, I
yeah,
suppose.
definitely. So yeah, it was my three main moments. I think maybe there is more, but yeah, it the three one in my head. I was scared and I said, yeah, let's go, try it, and yeah, you will see, you will see.
Yeah, I
And I
think
saw.
like what you mentioned in your experiences, we have talked to a lot of coaches, and we have coaches in our organization as well. And one thing we realize is the skill set required to be a coach doesn't seem to be like you need to be a professional player to be
Yeah,
a good
no,
coach. At least in esport. In sport, we see that quite often, but in esport, with the current like level where the industry is at, you don't really have to be able to bring that value to the players. And the second thing I found in what you said is there is kind of this imposter syndrome that
yeah,
that
totally.
people feel like, okay, because the coach we have on board, we realize they are really good coach. Like when we give them like when we ask them to build some plan for a coaching session or something, it's really well organized. But
Yeah,
they don't believe it until they see it. So before they build that plan, the first thing they say is, "Oh, how am I going to do this? Like this is not
yeah,
possible."
totally.
And then they actively start thinking about it, and then get the courage from people helping them going, like making that step,
Yeah.
and that helped them going to another level. So I think there is a lot of similarity between coaches that I can
Yeah,
kind of see.
definitely. And it's kind of funny also because I was also on the other side, because sometimes I was scared to not be enough good to be things. And after a good achievement, I was like, damn, I'm so good. I can do anything. Bring me phase. Bring me Fnatic. I can bring me liquid. I can do anything. I'm the best. And yeah, I was very balanced between these two feelings. Always thinking I'm very good, but also thinking I'm not good enough to do things. So very hard feelings between.
Yeah, balance the emotion must be hard in that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
just to go into the gaming campus. So from what I understood, and you probably could like correct me if I'm wrong there, it is a university that is dedicated to esport in France
Yeah,
and
it's a private
specializing
school
people.
which allow you to have the same degree in university. Yeah, and it's all about esports. So there is a normal degree like management, marketing, or digital things like that. But teach by people in esports or who are knowing esports scene.
Mhm.
So very
Got it.
interesting.
Got it. Cool. And you mentioned that you're training a team to like they're planning to build a team to
Yep.
make them professional. Obviously, like I don't want you to disclose anything that is private to that team,
No,
but
no, no.
we wanted to know if you could, because this is something like we've never seen like someone saying like, okay, let's take people and let's take students and let's make them professional, and finding this a pathway. So how do you feel that you like, what is your role there, and what is the pathway that you kind of build for those students?
Kind of a complex question, and I will try my best to answer. It's basically just like in sport. When you see a young player which seems to be good in sport or esport, you can choose to pick him and make him try to be the best version of himself, and teach him how to be professional. And so that's what Gaming Campus is trying to do. So in the morning, players are going to school. So they have marketing, English, French, normal classes. And for the afternoon, they have mental preparation, physical preparation, coaching with me, and different other classes. So morning is for school, and the afternoon is more for professional athletes. So by this organization, we are all the teachers for these players. We are trying our best to share the way to be professional, the way they need to work, to communicate, to be together like a team, to interact with other organization. Yeah, all the things a good player needs to know when he reach the top of players. So we are not planning. We are not saying if you do the classes, you will be a professional. It just like in sport, you can try, but nothing give you 100% chance to be a professional. It's just being an actor, you know. It's not because you are taking classes to be good at theater or a good actor that you will be professional. So we are saying the same. We are having the same discourse, the same discussion with them, and making them understand that we will do our best, but we can't promise anything. And it's very important to understand that, I think.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes now I understand better like what the gaming campus. I really like the idea because so for example in the US, what you would see in universities is they have a collegiate program where they
exactly the same.
But it sounds like your program is organized a little bit differently in the sense where actually they are immersed in the esport world. Like everyone around is like studying with esport teachers. They also have like studies in the morning, but if they don't make it to the professional level, they will most likely still be in esport in another area of the industry.
Totally. The main focus is to be sure that if they fail, unfortunately, they can go back in study, but not from the beginning, because they already had some classes, so they still have some bag behind to protect them.
Yeah, I think it's from what I hear, the organization is really professionalized compared to. I mean, I don't want to compare the collegiate program because I don't know all of them, but most of them, what I've experienced is that they have like you can build your like kind of schedule around, and then you can fit some gaming hours, but it's still not, I think, to the level that you guys have, which is having proper coaching that and also proper teachers that are in the esports industry and that are like kind of doing that for the whole year, not just a seminar or so that's really I think it's really interesting concept. I really like it for the students that wants to make it. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but Gaming Campus is an organization. Is like an esport organization. Some esport organization doesn't have all the staff Gaming Campus have. Mental preparation, physical preparation, coaches, one teacher for oral communication, helping them for interviews, streaming, things like that. So it's very um, complete. I don't know.
Complete, I guess.
Complete?
Full.
Yeah,
Yeah,
complete.
complete. Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
complete team, a
Yeah,
complete staff.
complete's a good word.
Yeah, and what I really also like is that Gaming Campus, like this organization, seems to have understood that there are multiple facets to the esport
Yeah.
player. Like when you're saying preparation for interviews, we met with some professional actually who said that they are not comfortable doing interviews, and they think that maybe that's one of the reasons they don't make it to the top. And having like all those training, I think it's really good. I'm really happy to see these things happening in the esport industry.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, just like you said, we are trying our best to do things great. And that's also why we are not taking huge classes, because most other schools in France are taking 30 or 40 children or or players, and it's way too much to have good job on them. First years, I got 4 players, and these years I just add 2 more players. So actually, first years and second years were 6. So it's very easy for me to be single with each player, to give them good routine, single and individual routine, and being always behind them, following them, what they are doing, what they are planning to do, and I can really focus on that. And I really think if there were 20 or even 10, it will be way too hard for me to say I can do something. I can make them professional in 2 years. It will be way harder for me to say that, I think.
Cool. And just to jump to the other organization you're working with, so you're working with Vitality, and
Yeah.
I mean I love them. Daiwu has been #1 CS:GO yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, but I was
Yeah, the day before.
I've been yeah, and I wanted to understand, because Gaming Campus seems to be this vision of like I take players and I make them professional.
Yep.
Whereas from what I understood in your work at Vitality, it was a different kind of role that you have there. Would you be able to like expand a little bit on what you did there and what you're doing there?
Yeah, totally. The first idea was to have like a summer camp, funny summer camp. So a week of being fun in a Vitality camp. So it's called Beehive. It's where the staff is working, and also there is a cyber coffee. I don't know if the right word for that, but yeah, you can go there, use computer, and stay in the Beehive. So it's the Vitality spot, and it was something interesting to have a week private. So Vitality Beehive is privatized, so nobody is in. Only 20 children, and they can use computer, use all the space, and being coached by a professional coach like me, which is a very good experiences. So it was the first idea, and I tried to bring something more educational, and I tried my best to share my knowledge about healthy lifestyle when you are a player, how to actually improve yourself, how to actually train yourself when you are a player, because a lot of children, a lot of young player or casual player thinks they just need to play a lot to be better, but it's not the only way, and it's not the best way at all to be better. So I talk about also different job around esports, because any children dream to be a player, a professional player, or maybe a manager or a coach, but there is so many different jobs which are very important for the ecosystem of the esports. and yeah, they don't know anything about them. So all this week is about being fun, learning, and touching like a bit professionalism.
Yeah, amazing. I I have a question. I can see kind of your approach. It's quite holistic, if that makes sense. You come from a healthy lifestyle, fun, professionalism. You kind of using, you talk to certain coaches, they can sometimes be completely focused on one facet, if it be completely data driven or completely, psychologically driven. What's your approach? Do you kind of have a pathway that you like to use across the board, or do you kind of work one-on-one with players based on what you think they need?
On my players or on Vitality School?
I guess if you're working with an individual, if you're working with I guess a new client or a new customer or a new student, what is your kind of approach towards making them a better player or athlete?
It's really depending of the basic knowledge of the player, because obviously each player is different. So they probably previously studied some things, or maybe not. They maybe played at a professional level, but on another game. So there is different profile. But basically, I'm trying to make them understand things. My way to work is always starting on theoretical step. So I'm talking a lot about the way I want them to go and the way I see them in the future. So being more confident, being more structured in their way to think, in their way to train, in their way to interact with other players and other person. I'm trying my best to show them how to think a bit like me. So being analytic, analytic,
Analytic, yep, pretty
analytic,
close.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be more analytic, to ask questions always about themselves, and of course knowing themselves a bit more, because I often talk to people like 30 or 40 years old, and probably your parents or your grandparents, uncle, or I don't know. There is many people that they actually don't know themselves. They think they know themselves, but they are not asking the good question. They are always questioning why they feel like that, and why things happen in their life, and not asking the good question. And it's quite a shame for them to go to a psychologist to have some help. So because players are mostly young, I try my best to help them in these specific moments of their life, which is quite difficult, a lot of question, and not always answer, because even when you have 40 years old, you still don't have some answer about your young age. So I'm trying my best to help them understanding more about them, taking care of them. One of my player recently being injured at the wrestle, so I explained him why he were injured, and we are actually working to make that never happen again. I have another player which is actually studying, and he have some trouble about some work he needs to go back, and I trying my best to explain him and help him on his work, because I think coaching is it's like managing. It's not only player improving in the game, but make him improve himself, in all the
Yeah.
level, and feel more confident, have some link with the coach, and feel capable to do things, great things, huge things. And if you are good in the game, you can think about that, but when you will fail, all will go down, and some people will never go up again. And so just like I say, I'm not coaching player, I'm coaching human, and I'm trying to make them better human, and you will see that on the game.
Yeah, amazing. I in my background of when I was still coaching tennis, that was a huge philosophy I believe in as well, that to build a great player, they need to be happy in their normal life.
Yeah, it's the great word, being happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's you're right. You can have a great player, but if things aren't working outside of the game or outside of what they're competing in, it can be incredibly tough to gather the pieces when they do have a fall. So it's really, really amazing. I want to start jumping across to you a bit more again about your actual career. One of the things that really stood out to us before we engaged speaking to you was you're quite reflective of your own career, and at times you've spoken about the ups and downs of trying to build a career in the esports industry. You have labeled it sour in one of your pieces of content. What are some of the experiences that have left you sour so far in terms of what you've experienced?
Basically, it was, I think, something you can totally understand, which was I double graduate myself. I worked a lot during 7 years to being graduated. I learned a lot of things, and all this is trash for esports.
Yeah,
not really full trash, and with time, it's way more important each year. More, but when I started 2 years ago, it was like useless. People were like, okay, great, you have some degree, but yeah, you don't have any experiences. And I was, yes, of course I have experiences, but not in esport, not on Fortnite, but I can totally do the job. I can prove you. Show me a player, let him talk to me, and you will see that I can do things. But because I'm not in esport, I'm not good enough. And it was kind of sad and disappointed to see that. It takes me sometimes to understand that, yeah, it's normal. I need to prove I need to prove that I'm good, and that I can do what I'm saying I can do, you know? So I started to coach and doing my best, graduate and climbing all the steps and doing my best to being better every day. And at a certain moment, I thought it was enough. I was good enough. I proved enough things, because Vitality, because Gaming Campus, because good player were talking about me, and all the coaches of Europe scene was kind of agree that I was there and I was good. So I thought it was nice, and it was like the signal I can do better. And when I thought that, I thought it will be okay. I just need to say on Twitter, I'm good. I want to do higher things and more challenging things, and they will ask me to join them, and there will be many projects. And I failed. I fall so hard because nothing happened. That nothing. And I was watching other coaches, which was kind of the previous one. They were friends with players, with a manager, with it was all network. And I will not say they don't deserve. I'm nobody to say that, but I was also able to do this job, and nobody asked me, and it was impossible to even try because all was working in shadow, in underground, in network. So I was confused being having some experiences, some skills, and not being able to prove that I can do things, and nobody was giving me some chance. And I was, for a tiny time, I was very sad about that. So yeah, I was sore.
Yeah, just one question on the last point you mentioned is that you said like you have the skills, you have the experience, but because you have no point, from what I understand, is that you actually don't know how to make the step there. Like, did you try any, like, I want to understand, like, was it completely, were you completely blind in how to bridge the gap between the experience and that you have and the skill that you have? Because, for example, like I'm software engineer, right? So I get my degree, I apply for a job, and I get the job. Like, I don't need to go and have the dinner with the manager. I mean, obviously, if I have dinner, maybe that could help, but but I don't need that. Like, mainly the skills is what is valued, right? And maybe sometimes a degree not so much, but the experience and skill is really valued there. I wonder, like, did you experience a completely lack of this system in the esports industry, and do you feel there would be value in having this?
Yeah, definitely. The first step will be to have something that can prove that you are professional. I don't want, and that's what I was fighting against, because I was definitely knowing what I need to do to being recruited. I need to be more visual, more in more media. I don't know. People need to talk about me, and it's what I hate. I always want to. I was dreaming that my skills and my achievements will be enough to make me go higher, and I just don't want it at all to do the clown, to say, "Hi, look at me! I can do things. Look, I'm good. I can do things. Look, I can analyze. I can help you on your mechanism. I can help you recruit me." And it was not me. I just don't want to do that. And I smashed myself on a big wall, which was saying, "You need to do it." And I it was a hard moment for me, because I was split on these two things, which was my value, my deep thinking that I don't want to do that, and esports scene, which was saying, "You need to, or you will stay a no." And it's all you want. If you want to stay a no, okay, that's right, just continue like that. But if you want to achieve a huge T1 organization, you need to show yourself. And because I love to do some compromise, and I hate to do things like other people want me to do things, I try different way. So instead of creating a YouTube channel about analyses and help tips and tricks and other things, I tried a new way on Twitter, and I tried to blog on Twitter and giving to the community good work, complex work, showing that Fortnite is not only a fun game, but can be also a deep, hard work things. A game where there is way more analysis, way more strategy that you think, and I still trying to show that to people.
Yeah, and I
And
think
at the same time, the purpose was showing that I was able to do things.
And I think that's a really interesting strategy that you've applied there, because I was thinking about different industries, and one that comes to my mind is the film industry, in the sense that if you want to be in a film or a director, I particularly think behind the scenes, a director per se, is that you have a couple choices. You can do the clown act that you spoke of, which is go on TV, make jokes, become famous through social media. and try and build up a reputation so that someone can say, oh, this person's directing our film. That doesn't make you a good director. The other option is to go and do your own content, do something that you're passionate about, and then release it for free, to show, and that's, in some ways, that's the same thing. You're promoting your work, but you're also at the same time developing something that has a bit of purpose. And I think that's a really interesting approach. And I think it's also, I think that's a reflection that the esport industry is still very much focused on the entertainment side. I think all high level sports or competitions are entertainment, but I think with those more, with those more mature, I guess, competitions, and I always reflect back to traditional, football, soccer, tennis. Often there's still an audience that watch it because of the technical. I mean, I watch sport because I love watching the technical aspect of athletes performing. But and I think that is starting to grow more in esports, and I think that will over time start to develop further and further. Something that really stood out to me on your Twitter was, and Luke kind of brought my attention to it, was there was a screenshot of a conversation where a player told you there is nothing you could teach him. I love this. I need to know more about it. Is that an attitude you've come across often in the world of esports?
Not that way, but kind of, yeah. Most player just don't answer, so easy answer, not answering. But yeah, this one was priceless. Yeah, it was insane to see that someone is really thinking he know anything about the game, which blow my mind totally, because even me, which go on 10 hours a day about Fortnite, I really don't know anything about this game. So I just can't imagine a player which need to train, actually, so not taking that much time to analyze the game. I just can't imagine someone knowing that much things. And even if it's really true he know anything about Fortnite, I swear I can help him on other sides. So in mental, in healthy things, helping him about RNG, about being a better analysis. So I have always something to give to my players. So yeah, the answer was kind of funny. I thought it was funny. I didn't take it for me, of course. And that's why I shared on Twitter this answer. But yeah, basically, a player prefers not answer, and some of them just prefer to say, "I'm trying my best to improve myself," and I prefer to stay on this level for the moment, and maybe later I will ask some help. And I'm totally agree with that. Try to improve himself, to go further, to go deeper in themselves and go to go higher. I think it's a good mentality. So I can't put the finger on that and say, oh my God, you don't want coach, or you are awful, or I don't know any other things I can say. I just can say great job, good mentality, and just ask if you want any help. And some other players are very happy, in fact, to have some proposition. Oh, some proposal.
Yeah.
So some help, let's say that. They are very happy to have some help, and the main problem is sometimes about money, because when I go to the player and I say, okay, I want to help you, of course I'm not making them pay me, because I know nobody which say, oh, I can help you, okay, great, but you need to pay me. oh,
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of weird
yeah,
approach.
yeah.
I think it's kind of weird. So when I go to the player, of course it's free. But when player go to me and really want deeply me to help them, at the beginning I was helping anybody, and I was coaching like 5 or 6 person per day. It was a lot to bring experiences, but now I have full schedule, so very hard for me to take free time. I deeply want to help them, but I can't do that anymore. So yeah, it's sometimes money problem, and esports is all about money problem, money issue. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Is that something you think you've come, so you haven't come across it too much, or have you, where there's that kind of attitude that I don't need coaching? And what's your thoughts around that? I mean, obviously you believe in coaching. We believe in coaching, but how do you see that changing over the future? People that have this attitude of what you got nothing to teach me. Is it just because they're only thinking about the game as the game and not the competition itself that requires that,
Maybe.
that
Maybe.
mental attitude?
Maybe it's very good question. I don't think I have a very precise answer to that. I will probably say that the more huge organization will have coaching, coach, and the more they will show that coach are important, the more players, young players, will go in esport thinking coach is so much important. And maybe with some huge organization help, the next generation of player could have a different mind about being helped. So maybe.
All right, perfect. I got two questions left before we sign off, and the first one is, we ask nearly every single person who comes on the show, is if you were an esport god, and you could change the industry in any way possible, what would you change and why? Or what would you improve and why?
I will put myself on the top. I think I will make I don't know how to say that, but state l'État, I don't know.
Like the government.
Yeah, the government. Yeah, totally. I will make the government help us a bit more. And also, if I'm the god, I can do a second things is to show to the more people possible that esports is very entertaining and very interesting, in fact. So yeah, these two things I think bring more visibility and bring more help from the outside, or for head of country.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can help your economy, I guess you're saying, if you're promoting that entertainment side of it and trying to really get involved with it.
Yeah, it will definitely. I think it will make it more stable, and with a more stable economy, we can bring some new future project and bring and build more structure, build more league. So having some different leagues, just like in football. So having a small league where you can perform and have a decent salary, and bring to higher league to the top of players, which are the best of France or Europe or world. And it's almost the case in League of Legends, kind of in CSGO, not that much, but it will be so helpful to have some government help to say that, okay, right now you have League 2, League 1, like open tournaments, selection, and other things. And you need salary, you need staff, you need professionalism, you need things, and have some punishment for the organization who try to do things on their own and try to go under the radar.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And my final question before we sign off is, if you could go back and talk to yourself when you started this journey, what are the three main things you would tell yourself? You only have 3 things you could say.
Wow. It's quite hard because I'm always saying to my players, even real bad things are very important for you, because bad things make you better. Not like, yeah, bad things make you stronger, but because bad things happen, you are always trying to go through them to adapt yourself so you are better the day after, you know. So I will probably change nothing, but maybe I will drop a little message which probably say something like, it's gonna be all right, trust yourself.
Yeah. No, awesome.
Don't
I think
too much.
if you only need to say one thing, I think it's simple, but it's powerful, and I think it's really cool. Thank you so much for joining us today, Koko. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think you've given us a different type of insight with your approach around holistic thinking, and that creating happiness in someone's life can actually create a better competitor, which is a really awesome theory. And thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the invitation, and give me the chance to just talk and share my way to think and my way to improve or make esports better in my little step. So
Amazing.
yeah, thank you a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much.